challenge you face today makes you stronger tomorrow. The challenge of life is intended to make you better, not bitter. A tele-reminder from Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Malulenyo.
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kaakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.
Hello, welcome back to our new normal classroom. This is Teleradyo Marcelo. And now we are in our fifth week of discussion. I hope you're doing fine, good, safe, and sound. I know we are mostly in our house right now, and most of the time we are having our social medias, our Google Classroom, and giving such time to our families. So I hope you will actively listen and participate in our discussion right now. Before we start, let's have the ruling and house rule for this discussion. Okay, so let's have number one, maximize the use of the chat box in answering and asking some questions. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask and type it in your chat box. And don't forget to, use the chat box also in answering some questions. Once you are here listening, don't forget to type in your name, your section, so that we can check your attendance if you're really watching or not. Second one, let's participate actively by answering the questions posted. If the teacher broadcaster posted some questions, guys, please don't hesitate to answer it. It will be a big, big, big impact on us. Lastly, find a conducive place. If necessary, please avoid those things that is not essential during the discussions. And find a place where you can listen and participate well. It can be in your class, in your room, or something that is less noised and individuals are not loitering around. By the way, I am Teacher Tiny, your teacher broadcaster. I'm teaching media literacy information. And the topic that we have for this session is about fake news. So here is a simple quotation about fake news. It is simple yet complex. Oh, what an oxymoron. It can be easily done, but the damage can be dealt to society can be so severe. That is one of the reasons why IML was created to fight fake news. If fake news win over media and information literacy, it can destroy a country. It can destroy one's country. So these are the expectations as you listen to us here in Teleradio. 1. Explain the similarities between fake news and coronavirus. 2nd, recall local and global events related to fake news phenomenon. Discuss the related phenomenon of fake news and infodemic. Later on, we're going to discuss what is the definition of infodemic. And lastly, classify different fake news about COVID-19 into 4 groups. So let's begin now with definition of terms. First, we have fake news. Note that here, when we say fake news, that is a journalistic mis or disinformation. It is a fake news labeling describing the political instrumentation of the terms to legitimize news media. So meaning this is to deceive, to trick, and to give you information that is not correct. Second term that we have is proliferation. What does it mean? It means a rapid and often excessive spread or increase, especially in transmitting news and information. Immunity. Wow. This is a condition of being able to resist a particular disease, being affected of something, being not affected by something I'm corrected by. So when you say immunity, you are not affected by something and you are resistant to a disease. For example, just like the coronavirus that we have right now, according to the WHO, we are in full immunity if we have 2 doses. That is according to them. Next one, we have here 2 humors. I mean, 2 definitions of terms. So we have humor and hoax. When we say hoax, that is a trick or an act to deceive or to trick. Okay, so that's an action. On the other hand, we say humor, that is a question or a statement or a story in general circulation without confirming facts. It can be a gossip or hearsay. There are a lot of humors and a lot of hoaxes around us. So please, you have to be careful in identifying that. We also have the pandemic. Wow. I know everyone is aware of the term pandemic. That is a widespread of a new disease as defined by WHO. Example, coronavirus, pandemic is a pandemic. Spanish flu was a pandemic back then also. Another one, we have outbreak. This is when something suddenly began, especially with disease or dangers or unpleasant. And we have polarization. That is a sharp division of a group or a sense or society into opposing factions, meaning they are in not so good terms. So here, the question is, in what ways fake news and coronavirus similar? Wow. Again, in what ways fake news and coronavirus similar? So what makes coronavirus and fake news alike? According to this article or to this group of sentences, they have 3 similarities. 1, they spread just like fire. It can be transferred from one person to another person. Second, it can be quickly spread out and wide. Right? And And on the third one, it can be prevented by identifying fake news also. But in coronavirus, we must be able to disinfect our surroundings and keep ourselves fit and healthy. So let's begin identifying how to identify fake news and how it begins. According to this, fake news begin and can be traced back in the presidential election, to be exact, year 2016. This is the rise of fake news because it spreads out like wildfire in social medias, just as you see here in the pictures that you see on the screen. And it dressed up to look like news article about a political candidate on social media. This easily become one of the most discussed phenomenon in the aftermath of the decision of the election, I mean. So, do you think it has any effect on the election back then? Do you think that, it has implications on the public perceptions of the government and also in our democracy? What do you think so? Also here, what is infodemic and what makes it a big problem? Infodemic is a coined term by WHO about the words of information in pandemic. It was combined and hence the word infodemic. It is used to describe, again, it was described by our current situation by overabundance of information, but not all information are accurate and trustworthy. So it makes people hard to find what information to believe or not to believe in. So let's have a quick review about the discussion that we had. Sit back, relax, and let's watch a video. Let's have a quick review about what we have discussed about fake news.
No, I can't believe it. I have to share this.
Wow, so many likes. What have you shared?
Look at this. It's so cool. I'll share it as well.
Groundbreaking, eating 1 kilo of chocolate a day boosts your memory? Where did you see that?
A friend from school has shared it with me. Not sure where she has seen it.
Did you double-check this information before sharing it?
What do you mean?
On the internet and social media, there are lots of news stories that are not real, and they are called fake news. Sometimes they are posted just to make people laugh, other times to get more likes or harm someone or something.
Come on. At the end of the day, it's just a post on social media. Look at all these likes.
But it's a lie. It's only chocolate we're talking about, but next time it could be you. Think about it. Always remember that. Virtual is real.
But I've only shared it online.
I know, but it's important to be able to spot fake news, especially before sharing it online. Share with care.
And how do you do that?
It's not difficult. You just need to follow a few rules. Would you like me to tell you about them?
I'm all ears.
Let's try something. You have just received this message from a friend. According to an American university, younger siblings tend to be funnier than their older siblings. Lucky you! You're the youngest. I wonder if it's true. Would you double check it, or you just trust your friend and share it? Great! You're reading a post which reports large, exaggerated numbers. Wow, that's a really big number. I wonder if this is true. Would you double check it, or you trust the source and share it? Well done. Good job. Someone shares this article. Groundbreaking. Eating 1 kilo of chocolate a day boosts your memory. Science says so. But is this really true? What would you do? Would you double check it or share it? Good job! Well done, Jasmine. Now you are an expert at telling the difference between fake and real news.
Now I know how to do it. I'll let my friends know that the news about the chocolate was fake, and I'll delete the post. More fake news! I'm definitely not going to share this.
And remember, not all you read on the internet is true. Here are some tips for you. Every time you come across some news you find interesting, don't read just the headlines. Read all the way through, and make sure the date and author's name are clearly stated. This way, you'll avoid making a mistake. If the headline involves exaggerated numbers or words like important, incredible, you can't imagine, and you also find grammar errors, be careful and check that other sites or newspapers have also reported similar news. If you don't find anything, then it's fake news. If the news comes to you by word of mouth, ask an adult to verify together with you that it is true. Whoever sent it to you may not have double-checked it, but you can. When you share fake news, you spread the word and make more people believe that it could be true. Remember that your actions can make a difference. Think about it before clicking share. What if someone you knew actually did start to consume 1 kilo of chocolate a day?
Hello, I hope you're still there watching us. Now let's go back to our discussion about fake news. So we are now on how to identify fake news about the COVID virus. So one, there are a lot of fake news where it came from. Since we are naturally curious, we fill in the gaps of our knowledge. It able for us to tend, a tiny pieces of what we already know. When the news came out about the new strand of coronavirus back in December, the Chinese authority reported to WHO about it. But since there are, theorists or conspiracy theorists, those individuals that has, a mind-whopping imaginations, but the information is not yet verified, I can say that it is gossip or hearsay. They are claiming that the coronavirus is a bioweapon concocted by the Chinese government to target United States. That is one example of that. And there are many, examples of fake news where it came from. It came from bats, according to scientists. It came from a laboratory. There are a lot of circulations. But always remember, identify, verified, and check the data first. Second one, how it spreads out. Okay, so there are many claims on how COVID virus spreads out. Always remember that, check it out. So what are the examples of how it spreads? Number one, it spreads out through shoes. Yes, but it can spread out, but not on the fact that 50%, but it is very low. There are only minimal potential of spreading it out through truth. Okay. The second one is through house flies. Yeah, just like dengue. But no, it cannot be transferred to it. We don't still have the evidence. Yes, it is not verified to that houseflies can transmit COVID-19. And the weirdest of the weird transmission is that coronavirus can be transmitted through 5G mobile networks. Always remember that there are many kinds of transmission, but mobile networks will be again mobile networks, but coronavirus will be still coronavirus. Okay. Third one, the symptoms and treatments. Wow. This is the most of the most here in the 4 themes of COVID-19 fake news. So advice, the treatments and cures are the most common widespread of COVID-19 fake news. And it has a serious coincidence. For example, in Iran, there are 44 housed or individuals died and many were hospitalized after drinking homemade alcohol to protect themselves from disease. Okay. And there are many, every day there are many circulations in the internet that it can be prevented by this, prevented by that. Always remember, check, verify, and keep it data. Last but not the least, how we respond. Since COVID-19 is in the country right now and we are in global pandemic, this is how people responded. Wow. One, we are obliged, not just obliged, but we are tried to observe stay at home protocols. Many rely on the internet to, give us some feedbacks on how we will respond. But as the government introduced many measures on how to prevent it, there are a lots of mispresented videos and rumors emerged. And I think this is the outbreak of fake news here in the Philippines. And it is not good in our part, especially if we see those pictures without citation, without caption, our minds is, what is that? Because we are naturally curious. Okay. So first, again and again, verify, check the facts. So in the Philippines, how we check the facts? One, we have the Verifax. This Verifax is a paged checker wherein they will translate it into Filipinos and they will see to it if it is, the code of principles in Verifax is not avoid or compliant to their policy. Okay. This is one of the signatory international fact-checking network wherein they will give you the link and they will verify it for you. Second one, this is my favorite fact-checker page. We have the Rappler. The Rappler is one of my favorite fact-checker because they will give you exactly what you need. For example, here, we have the facts and it was claimed false, meaning this is a fake news. So in Rappler, if it is, if the title you see false, it is instantly a fake news. But if the title is, given the fact that it is title without the term false, it is correct. So let's have the facts checker, please. Okay. And lastly, before I end, kindly and please don't forget, correcting people who share misinformation could be pretty challenging, especially if the one you're correcting is not a very acceptable person. He is not open-minded, he just shared, he doesn't verify facts. But please let us try to make this country a different place. Empathetic conversation is a key here. So communication is always a key. You must be able to take the position of the person you are correcting and understand where it came from. This will not make them open to you, but they will manage their own feelings and stress levels. So, conversation with that person will make them open to you, why he shared it, what are the facts, and what are the things that you need to do. So questions, we can answer them. Are we ready for the next? I hope you can do it to have a 100% total success of this. So here, let's share it now. Let's have performance task number 4, entitled Kill Them with Kindness. Okay, here, the challenge is to make an empathetic conversation with someone who shared misinformation online. Okay, so you're going to try a conversation, one with a complete stranger who shared information online that is not correct or misleading. And another, a friend, a relative, or just, an acquaintance with the misinformation, sharing of information. So this is our fact guide 1. So you look for a shared piece of misinformation on social media, not just in Facebook, you can use Instagram, Twitter, anything. So try looking for a person's in the news feed and everything. So verify it by fact checker. I only discuss it to you later on by the verify or raffler. The third one, analyze and reflect on the caption or comment that was written by the person you want to converse it. Where is it coming from? Why is he had the reason why he's sharing this content? Okay. Before we chat, construct your response. You may be either publicly post it in the trend or tag it, or just simply private message the person you want to converse. If you receive a response, try sustaining the conversation. Remember, the goal here is win over the person to have a practice empathy. When you say, try to put yourself in the shoe of the person, why he shared that post. And lastly, screenshot your conversation or copy it verbatim, meaning copy it word by word. Please do not disclose the name of the person and kindly blur the name of them or write just like Alex. So what will be the output? You're going to produce a creative media presentation. Yeah. Capturing or recording your 2 attempts of empathetic conversation. It can be a screenshot or a verbatim copy, and the details of the corrected misinformation, and what is your reflection on your experience. Just tell us what is your feeling while you are trying to converse or you are conversing that individual. So this is the rubric for our performance task. Yes, always remember, use empathetic language. Yeah. To sustain, to respect, and to create rapport in the conversation. Please and kindly use such words to have a good emphasis on that person. Second, use a supporting material for this information. You need to cite facts and you need to prove it. Substantial resources that can be supported in your corrected information. And number 3, your reflection. What you feel about that one. So what is your experience and how you show energy or give your opinion about certain facts. It can be beyond the exercise that we have. We can give more information about certain facts, but stick to the information. And only for the last one is their creativity in the presentation. How you present your empathetic conversation in such text. So we have here the 4: exemplary, accomplished, developing, and beginning. Okay? So any questions? You may ask your MLI teacher on your weekly online session from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay? So that is the end of my discussion. I hope you had a great time with me. Again, see you by the next time. Always remember, Batang del Pilarian, Batang Matatak. Goodbye, guys!
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.